So I just saw the Backrooms movie. Should you? This is a movie based off the titular hit web series by Kane Parsons, in which that in of itself is inspired by the classic Backrooms creepypasta from the older days of the internet, which showcased a series of empty liminal space locations that could be accessed by escaping reality. I think 2019 is the year they started to really become popular, and that's what led to the creation of the analog horror web series by Kane in 2022 that would become a huge hit on the internet, making the Backrooms and liminal space horror one of the most popular of its kind. We live in an age where anyone can launch a phenomenon and career through the internet with the right amount of dedication and traction, and this is why we have so many big hits in creations from internet stars in the modern world of entertainment, with a big recent example being the Iron Lung film by Markiplier and the upcoming theatrical release of the series finale to the amazing digital circus by Glitch Productions in a few days. Backrooms continues that trend by not only being a financial hit, but a great big screen adaptation as well. This film revolves around a furniture store owner named Clark who is seeing therapist Mary as he is struggling with his drinking issues and recent divorce. One day he discovers a secret passage inside a store to a dimension of endless liminal spaces that also contain unimaginable horrors. I'm going to start by saying that the creator of the web series directing the movie was a decision that I am so glad was made, because wow, is this a faithful adaptation that manages to construct its concept into a full-length feature film so smoothly. The thing that I easily love the most about this is the overall atmosphere and visual aspect of the storytelling. The horrifyingly quiet atmosphere within the titular location is adapted onto the big screen perfectly. The overall shots containing silence with faint noises really put you on the edge of your seat for what can possibly happen at any moment, and I especially love the first person scenes. Those were easily the most intense. I always found the concept of liminal space horror to be interesting, as I'm sure we've all had those lonely moments during childhood that made us feel uneasy in a way. Whether it be something as simple as sitting in an empty room with no music or anything that could create noise, waking up in your playroom to find that it is dark with the only light being the TV either showcasing static, some random DVD menu, or even a quiet, calming closing credits theme from a TV show, or, you know, how many public areas like movie theaters and fast food places have changed so drastically within the last few decades, and you just find a picture of that exact interior online that you remember, except it's empty. The Backrooms does that and drives the uneasiness to the next level by the camera and locations within the titular dimension are so dynamic and consistent at the same time, to the point where you won't even predict what's coming up next, and it'll easily catch you by surprise. For a budget of only $10 million, the set design and effects are overall used to their fullest potential that make the high stakes for those scenes really believable and legitimately scary. However, if there is one thing that is controversial about this movie that I want to address, it's the movie's focus on its characters, as a good amount of them is spent away from the titular location and instead spent with them trying to deal with their life issues. I will admit, the experience is knocked down a little bit by this aspect, as a handful of these moments do feel unnecessary, but I overall found the two main characters to be pretty interesting. I love how it highlights that Clark and Mary both have their own issues in life, and both their characters building off one another lead to a lot of neat plot twists and smart writing moments that I was not expecting. I do wish more time was spent in the Backrooms overall, but I found Clark and Mary's parallel arcs to be a nice touch to this film. In conclusion, the Backrooms movie was a surprisingly great horror film that not only understands its source material and what made it so appealing, but manages to be legitimately scary at the same time, and really earns itself a respectable place in the horror genre that I'd highly recommend you go see in theaters if you're into that stuff. 8 out of 10. Anyways, what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more detailed reviews and analysis on movies, TV, gaming, and more. And remember to keep calm and let life carry you on.